As you recall in the previous training video, when we linked our tasks together, the default relationship type was finish to start. And as you recall, there are 4 types of relationships. Finish to start, again the default, start to start, and finish to finish. Now as you can see over here, I've got the default on all my tasks that when this task is completed, you can see that the arrow comes out at the end when it's completed, and it goes to the beginning of the next task, finish to start. In fact, you can hover over that line, and you can get a little pop-up to clarify that that is a finish to start relationship. From task ID number 7, create outline, to task ID number 8, review with subject matter experts. Now, before I go ahead and I show you how to change these, like let's say from finish to start, what would happen if I go ahead and I insert another task here? Would it automatically create that relationship? And if so, what type of relationship would it be? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Let me go ahead and select task 10 and hit the insert key on the keyboard, and let's type in a new task. And I'm going to abbreviate it. Instead of spelled out, we'll have it called review with SME or subject matter experts. Hit enter. And because my task mode is in automatic, it automatically gives me the default 1 day with the start date on the same day as the project start date. So it doesn't automatically link up. You can see it's this little guy out here going, help, I want to be part of everybody. So if I want to go ahead and include him in the relationships, that when this task, its predecessor, has finished, it starts on this one. Then as you recall in the previous training video, to go ahead and create that link, just, well, one way is to go ahead and double click to open up that task. Then I want to go ahead and link it to its predecessor. And what predecessor is it? Task 9, because this is task 10, modify outline. So if I come over here, click in the task name field, click on its corresponding drop down arrow, and it's modify outline. When I select it, make sure it says task 9. Well, just in case you have modify here, modify outline there. It's the task 9 modify outline. You can see the ID there. And the type is finish to start. Go ahead and click OK, and there we go. Now, the question mark 1 day, again, it's in automatic mode. It says that, hey, the default's going to be 1 day. Do you want to go ahead and confirm it? I can type in 1, hit enter, and there you go. Now, to go ahead and change the relationship type between 2 tasks, like let's say for modifying the outline, we want to change the relationship with its predecessor. Instead of waiting for the predecessor to finish before this one starts, how about if we change it so they can both start at the same time? Let me show you how you can do it and then explain and see if it makes sense by having this one start at the same time as that one. So to change it, double click on it, opens up the task with the predecessors tab, because the predecessor in this relationship to task 9 is right there, task 8, review a subject matter expert. Come in here, click on the drop down arrow and change it from a finish to start. And as you recall in the previous training video, if you remember that phrase, when it comes to seeing how this is going to work, you can say, okay, the predecessor must start, and the predecessor is task 8, so this task must start before task 9, modify the outline, can start. So if I go ahead and, well, before I click OK, let me click and drag the title bar down. You can see that the duration of the project is going to take 48 days. Now, if I can start this task at the same time as that one, and they're both how many days? 1 day. Instead of going 1 day and then going to the next the second day, they can both be in 1 day, both started and completed. Then the duration overall of the project should be cut back to 47 days. So if I come back up here, click and drag it so we can see it, so I can go ahead and click OK. There we go, 47 days, which, by the way, do you see how these cells are shaded? In fact, let me click and drag the split bar over. The link between these cells that are being shaded means that what I do here is affecting these other cells. So when I go ahead and change the relationship, it's saying, okay, you're affecting the duration of the project, so it's got that highlighted. Also the finish date. Also the outline phase used to be 5 days, so it highlights that, saying, hey, something happened here. And as you recall, it used to be 5 days. Well, if you can't remember, come up here and hit undo, and it goes back to 5. Come back up here and click redo, goes back to 4. So you can undo, redo, undo, just as long as you don't click save, because when you do that, it gets rid of your undo. Okay. And coincidentally, when we shorten this, it affects all the other tasks that are linked to or from the last task here, which gets bumped up so we can start that earlier, the review of subject matter expert, because both of these can be completed on the same day. And then those successors to this task, they get bumped up. Everybody gets bumped up 1. So the finish date right here, November the 4th, if I hit undo, is November the 5th. And if I go redo, again, these 2 tasks are starting on the same day, which, by the way, if you look over in the Gantt chart, now look at the line. Instead of the default finish to start where the line comes out at the end, when it finishes that task and goes to the beginning of the next one, it now comes out at the beginning of the task and goes to the beginning of the next one, which means that they can both start at the same time. Well, it says that the predecessor must start before this task can start, so this one has to start even if it's just a minute. So let's see if this makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and modify the outline, but this task must start even if they're just going over the outline for 30 seconds and they're already popping off suggestions. Can I not, after the first 10 seconds or 30 seconds, the expert says, hey, you need to go ahead and put this in bold and go ahead and move the text over here, I can start modifying it, can I? I mean, it's getting a little bit nitty-gritty, like, okay, maybe not the first 10 seconds, maybe the 30 seconds, but in general, I can go ahead and start modifying as soon as the subject matter expert is reviewing it with me. Okay, so I can start those at the same time, basically. I'm not going to split hairs and go, okay, it's been 10 seconds, 20 seconds, we have to wait. If your project calls for that, then by all means make the adjustments there. Which, again, by the way, you can hover over that if you're not sure what type of relationship that is. You can see it start to start. You can also, if you're good, get that little pointer on top of that line there, that relationship, and double click really fast, and you can change the dependency here or the relationship type, clicking on the drop down arrow, and do it that way. Okay. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel to get notified of the latest videos. And for great specials on my products, please see the description below this video.